putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. Discussing why Donald Trump will never, repeat, never lose to the left. Never. He can get a setback. Like they can slow down things or whatever, but he'll never lose. Look at anything that Donald Trump has done so far. Oh, he was never going to get Obamacare. Okay, we're not going to pay for it. We're going to start slowly dismantling it. Then he said, well, it'll implode on its own. Then they're going to come to me begging for something. That's on its way. It's going to happen. He's never going to get this travel ban or whatever. They got the travel ban eventually. He's never going to pass his tax cut. He got his tax cut. He's never going to do this, that, and the other. Whatever. Everything that he wants, he'll get. May not get it exactly at the time he wants, but if you think that Donald Trump had an amazing first year, wait till you see year two. Whoo. You wait. He's going to blow all convention. Forget what usually happens in a midterm. Supposedly the incumbent, the new incumbent, the ingenue, gets his butt kicked. It will not happen. Donald Trump will kick the butt of leftists in November 2018. Republicans will feast. Oh, the Republicans are all leaving, Kevin. There's lots of Republicans leaving. Good. Get them gone. They were probably weak-kneed sissies to begin with. Well, Daryl Issa, whatever is that? What is his name? Issa. He's leaving. Trey Gowdy. I don't care. All of them. They're going to be replaced with people who are going to finally get to come in under somebody who shows real leadership, not people that came in under George Bush. He lost a bunch. You're going to find guys that run. They're going to run on guts. That's what Trump's going to bring. So good. Clean house. That is a compliment to the man. See, they want you to see it differently. All those Republicans, they're abandoning Trump because they don't like his policies. Nothing could be further from the truth. The tax bill proves it. The tax bill is going to be the dividing line between what success and failure in 2018. And everybody who voted against it is going to get their teeth kicked in. Everybody who voted for it is going to find out life is good. 51 senators voted for it, and I know 45 or whatever didn't. Maybe 49 didn't. But the ones who voted for it are going to feast. The Democrats know it too. They're shifting over. Do you see any Republicans running from Donald Trump? I don't know how into politics you are. There's no Republicans running away from him. The best thing you could do, if you've got a race, you're begging Trump to come into it. Please do it. Everybody's talking about Trump supporting Romney. Romney couldn't be happier that Donald Trump endorsed him. That may not be happy for true conservatives who go, look at what this guy did. Let me tell you something, folks. Romney's no worry to Trump. Trump's like, look at who I had that were elected. Paul Ryan and McConnell and all these guys that didn't like me. What are they doing now? Rallying behind me. One simple reason. Success. The man who Romney wants to replace, Orrin Hatch, one of the biggest rhinos on the planet, gave the highest compliment you can give to a politician, to Donald Trump. He said the man gets things done. We've been up here kicking the can for decades. He comes in and gets stuff done. Orrin Hatch was like, man, I'm glad to go out on a winner. Let me leave. I can finally go, because now that I've seen how it's done, I've been doing it wrong all these years. It's time for me to step aside, let somebody else in there. That's what's going on. So you watch all these indicators. America's going to get its credit rating back. The economy is going to boom. People are going to be working. Eventually, the budget gets in check, and he'll start looking at entitlements and things like that. Eventually, there's only so much you can do. But when he's done this year, kicking the Democrats' butt in the midterms, and then comes back in 2020 and lays the hammer down, and we then have people in place that understand that we are no longer going to run. We're not kowtowing to the left. In case you aren't biblical, let me just explain to you folks. We win in the end. So when all that occurs, you're going to watch a whole different politic. Leftist folks have thrown the kitchen sink at Donald Trump. CNN said this: Trump's racism has gone from dog whistle bigotry to megaphone prejudice. Somebody please explain to me where, because I haven't seen it. USA Today: Trump's malignant narcissism is toxic. Mental health professionals have a duty to warn about a leader who may be unfit to serve. The Boston Globe said this: Donald Trump, the bigot who can't accept reality. The list of these hit pieces is longer than a Polish last name, and the articles are baseless. The authors know little about Donald Trump pre or post presidency. They're just making their, casting their aspersions, making their, what they think him to be based on what? Based on their echo chamber of ignorance, and that's what they spit out. And you know what? In the past, you spit out enough, you get enough newspapers doing it, and you'd be fine. But then what does Donald Trump do? He goes and he gives a tax break that impacts millions of people immediately. It hits hundreds of thousands that get bonuses. Corporations start to hire, and which haven't even really kicked in just yet. And suddenly, people start looking at their taxes and going, wait a minute, I'm getting more money's back in my check. Maybe he isn't quite as unhinged as I thought he was. They don't know the real Donald Trump. They don't want to know the real Donald Trump. Knowing him would erode the foundation for their lies. They don't want to know that Donald Trump cares about the little people. I've told many people, I said, hey, you look at this guy, you don't see a billionaire. To see a billionaire for Trump, you'd have to see him at a black tie event, people, swarming all over him, or at one of his homes. You'd have to see how he's living. To meet Donald Trump, you don't see billionaire. I got friends that are multimillionaires. You'd never guess it in a million years. You'd never guess it. They don't talk about. You see their car, you're like, what? You even go to their houses and you're going, it's okay. Not that big of a deal. Bunches of them. And it's shocking in their level of humility and what they're like, who cares? You'd never guess it. And Trump's one of those guys. And he cares about the little folks. I'm going to give you an example. Donald Trump returned from Hamburg. He had participated in the G20 summit. He approached Marine One at Andrews Air Force Base, just outside of D.C., and he noticed there's a Marine that always stands at the helicopter ready to salute the president when he gets there. And this happened to be a young black man, a PFC. He's standing there, but his cover's off. That's your hat in Marine Corps lingo. And it's tucked under the staircase as Donald Trump's talking to some military bigwig. And he's walking up to the plane, and he sees the cover. It's white. The guy's in dress blues. He pulls up reaches down and picks it up. I mean, he's not picking it up like everybody looking. He sees it's out of place. He picks it up, kind of brushes it off. Then he looks over at the Marine. He sees he's lost his cover. He goes over to him. He places it on his head, taps the guy twice on the shoulder. It blows off again. Now, you would think, okay, at this point, Donald Trump would go, well, hey, I did it once. No, he runs and retrieves the cover. It's now on the right side of the staircase of Marine One and blowing away. He gets it, to which time the guy with him, the military guy with him, takes the cover. He's like, I'll take it, Mr. President. He hands it to him. And then he goes on to Marine One, and whoever the guy that was with the president, he goes over to the Marine. He doesn't put it back on his head, and he salutes him without the cover. Now, there's some symbolism here. The Marine who's waiting at the PFC, he can't salute the president without his cover. So the minute the president puts it on, he's ready to salute. It blows off. President Trump goes and gets it, gives it back to the Marine or to the serviceman who was taking him up to Marine One. That guy tucks the cover under his arm and salutes the Marine without the cover. So he's saying, it's okay. You have permission to do this, which is rare because without the Marine Corps, you don't salute without your cover, period. But he gets saluted. That's not even a big deal. The big deal is what Trump does. The guy that's been called a racist sees this little thing that happens, and he says, I'll take care of it. And he grabs that guy's cover and he puts it on his head. The President of the United States goes to a PFC. This guy's one rank above the lowest you can be in the Marine Corps, a private. He takes that cover and puts it on his head, pats him on the shoulder because he knows that kid can't move. And he recognizes him. I got your back, buddy. And then he jumps on Marine One after getting it a second time. He didn't have to get it the second time. He didn't do it because this guy was white. He didn't go, oh, he's a black guy, I'm not getting his cover. He didn't care what he was. He's a Marine representing America, and he stopped. And the left knows it. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to know that type of that exists with Donald Trump. No way. He's egotistical, racist, unhinged maniac. That's what they want you to know. Who happens to pick up the covers of Marines. Any Marine.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.